Before we start, please everyone scan this QR code so that you can enter your questions that might arise during the talk. And at the end of the talk, I will try my best to answer your questions. If you're interested to talk to me after this event, I will be waiting outside, and if you have questions that you want to give to me, also you can talk to me outside. But if the question is relevant to the audience, feel free to enter it in a pad, and I will try my best to answer them at the end of this talk. So let's start. In today's talk, I will focus only on Germany-specific things in accounting. So we will see what can Odoo do in accounting. Also, what are the limits? Do I need DATEV? And what are the possible solutions that I have? I will show to you the DATEV export in a live demo. And also the VAT declaration. Also, something that might be interesting is the German bookings of restaurant bills, because there's the 30% deduction that needs to be made, and I explain to you a trick how you can do this in Odoo. And last but not least, I'll explain a few things that might be missing and of added value to you that you can use as extras. My name is Manuel Sauer. I'm the CEO of Samsa IT, and we are originally an SAP consulting company. So you might be wondering, why am I here to talk about Odoo? The reason is, in 2016, I came across a system which is open source, has a CRM system, is a ERP system, has a web portal, and all of this together with a modularized approach. I was really enthusiastic about it, and ever since we are an Odoo implementation partner. We see ourselves not just as an implementation partner, but also as an app dealer. There are lots of solutions in Odoo standard. You just need to know where to look, but it has its limits. And then there's a partner network where we are getting apps that, in particular for the German market, are relevant. And also from our side, we have 150 generic apps for certain solutions to give added value on top of Odoo. A part of that, we are accounting experts. We focus in manufacturing, energy, trade, e-commerce, and service. Let's talk about a bit of a history. It will help you later on when I discuss about the things that work or do not work. Because sometimes you will say, this doesn't work, but in another version it works. Or you say, it had... you talk to somebody else with a different information, and to have this history will help you to put the answers in the right context. In version 12, when it comes to German accounting, I just say, well, okay. In version 13, the DATEV export was added. However, at the time, unfortunately, it wasn't working. In version 14, there were major changes regarding to the Documents app, which is really relevant for the accounting, because you want to have versions of documents, not just deleting them, and you want to have reports, and the reporting was improved a lot with the spreadsheet integration. And then there's version 15. And in version 16, there are many, many accounting improvements. And now, from my part, the most important information on that slide is that just recently, the issues with the DATEV export have been fixed, and there's a DATEV export in Odoo standard that you can use, and also you can use the VAT declaration. And I will show these things to you in a live demo today. And there was always a back and forth between it's working, it's not working, there's a bug in it, there's an issue. And as I said recently, these things have been not just implemented, but improved and backported to 15 and 16. Often when we start a project, the customers ask me, what in accounting can you do? And also, where are the limits? So that if you go with Odoo, you can have a foresight on what are the things that in future might come to you and that might pose an issue. So Odoo actually comes from being in an accounting system. That's one of the things that's written in the DNA to Odoo from the beginning. So that Odoo can do accounting is nothing new. And of course, it can do all the basics. Like it has the chart of accounts in Germany. That's the SKR 03 or 04, the newer one. Taxes, fiscal positions help you to do tax adjustments and account adjustments when you are doing international trade, for example. You can do invoices, assets, depreciation. You have a general ledger, subledger for creditors, debtors, payroll, balance sheet, profit and loss, you name it. Basic things that are built into Odoo. Something special like restaurant bills in Germany with the 30% deduction, there is where you need to apply tricks to get them working. But that's one of our ideas, to take Odoo as it is, configure it, and do with it the things it needs to do before going to an implementation. Because when you know what to look, it can do more than you might think. And this is also one thing that I will show to you in a live demo today. Monthly VAT declaration. Also part of today's live demo. Now, what are the limits? Odoo does not have a localization for the German payroll. Fabien introduced a few new countries with a localization. So this is something where Odoo can maybe give more input on the roadmap, but as of now, the payroll is not part of the system. Then if you have international business, the so-called zusammenfassende Meldung, I don't have the perfect English translation for this one, but if you're an accountant, you know what I'm talking about. So this one is missing. The yearly VAT declaration and the corporate tax, which is divided between, I just take the German words Körperschaftsteuer and Gewerbesteuer. Also, the publication of your year-end closing in the Bundesanzeiger, also not integrated into Odoo, same as the e-Bilanz, the electronic balance sheet. So there's a lot of green ticks. There are red crosses. So what can we do about those? So for the German payroll, there is no solution at this very moment, just talking about today, but you can integrate it with another payroll solution of your choice. Regarding the monthly zusammenfassende Meldung, you can use either the web portal elster.de to do it, and of course you get the numbers from Odoo. Alternatively, you can use an extra app to get it done. Same with the yearly VAT declaration. You can do it with Elster, Körperschaftsteuer, Gewerbesteuer, the same thing. For the publication, it's a relatively new thing that the publication is possible via a web portal, so that's possible too. And regarding the e-Bilanz, an Odoo app is in progress. And here, keep in mind that our business is to be an app dealer, so we are selling our own apps. We're selling apps from our partner network to put all of the puzzle pieces together to make the German accounting and Odoo in general a perfect solution. So the question here is, do I need DATEV? DATEV is the system that in Germany every tax consultant is familiar with. So if you're working with a tax consultant, you will be ending up to give an Odoo export to the tax consultant in the DATEV format. But if you want to do the accounting on your own, then you can do the things with Odoo and in combination with the web portals that I listed here. So basically, it's your choice if you want to use DATEV or not. Traditionally, speaking from experience, our customers go with the DATEV export for a long period. But starting last year, the first customers are asking, hey, let's do all of the things in Odoo itself. So the trend is going from DATEV more to use Odoo, but of course there will many customers remain on the DATEV side just for supplying their tax consultant in the format that the tax consultant is used to. Okay, so let's now go to a live demo. The first thing that I want to show to you is how the DATEV export works in Odoo standard. So what I'm showing to you today, it's pure standard, nothing extra installed. Just one thing is really important, that you make sure the German localization is installed correctly. When you're setting up a new instance, there are common mistakes you can make, that the Odoo default installation is done with United States accounting localization, and then you will not find the things that I'm presenting to you today. So if you're following up on my talk later on, please make sure the localization is installed correctly, then you will find the things that I showed to you today. I go to the accounting settings, and here I need to do one thing, DATEV account length. And the default is 8. I changed it to be 4, and you can change it to a number of your preference. Depends on your company how many digits you want for the general ledger accounts and for the subledger, for the debtor and creditor accounts. So in this case, I pick for the general ledger 4, and so you will have automatically 5 digits for the debtor and creditor account numbers. So that needs to be set. And then one more thing that is not related to the DATEV export itself, but I just want to mention it because today's talk is about the German accounting, and you should download the data in alterability report because it makes bookings fixed, so you cannot change them anymore. And yeah, with German legislation, this is something important that you should focus on. So those are the settings. There are more things to do for the DATEV export to work. You need to go to users and companies and then open the companies. I open this company, and you need to enter the DATEV consultant number. This is the number of your tax advisor, and this is your client number. You will get those values from your tax consultant. The other things here you should fill out too, but not only for the DATEV export, but also for the VAT declaration that I will show in today's talk as well. So make sure you fill those fields, otherwise you will be wondering why things are not working. There's a third thing that you need to know about before the DATEV export will bring the expected results. You need to go to the contacts, and here I open the customer, go to accounting, and you will see that the debtor and creditor accounts are missing. But you will need those for the DATEV export. And so what we do is we switch on the debug mode in Odoo. So I activate it here. I open the customer again, and here we go. We have the debtor and creditor account numbers that we can enter here. In this case, this is a customer. So I enter this number here, and this is the number that later on you will see in the export file. So I just repeat because it's a kind of a hidden feature. Those fields are hidden and only shown if you go to the debug mode. What we usually do is we just show those fields independently of the debug mode so that every user can, the accountants can have access to them more easily. Okay. Then let's have a look on one of the vendor bills. I just created a plain normal vendor bill with a service quantity 1, price 10, so no difficulty here. But you see here the account number 3301, Verbindlichkeiten, Auslieferungen und Leistungen Odoo. This is account number that your tax consultant will not know because it's a specific one created for Odoo. So what we do usually is we change the default from 3301 to 3300. So the tax consultant will have less of an issue to work with Odoo specific accounts. And then, you know, it's the normal account that the tax consultant is familiar with. If you're wondering how you can change this defaulting, you can change this default in settings, technical, and here you have user-defined defaults. And this is an Odoo standard feature where you can default basically everything. So I will not go into more detail. If you have any questions regarding this one, contact me later, but to save a bit of time, I will leave it with that. Okay, so you see we have done quite a few preparations for the DATEV export to finally work. And those things, yeah, as I explained already, sometimes are a bit hidden, so you need to know where to look to find it. And the same thing continues because the DATEV export is also a hidden feature in the general ledger, in the reporting. For me, at the beginning, it was a bit confusing to find this under reporting. Yeah, that's where you can find it. You go to reporting, general ledger, and then you can use here the DATEV export without attachments. And here you can have the DATEV export with attachment. So the PDF bills will be exported at the same time in a zip file. And that will help your tax consultant because in DATEV, the tax consultant can import not just the bookings and the customers and the vendors, but also the corresponding PDF documents. In German, the tax consultants call this Belegbild import, English PDF document import. So here we go, one click of a button, and you get a zip file. I open it. And you see here that, yeah, I have in this test system one invoice, I have 2 bills, I have the vendor accounts, I have the customer accounts, and the bookings you can find in the accounting entries. So I open this one. In here, you have all the bookings that you selected in the export. And what I call this is a minimum export, which is required for the import in DATEV. It does not have any tax. It does not say 19%, 17%, because that's encoded in the so-called DATEV Buchungsschlüssel. This code will define if it's 19% or 17%. And with this information, then DATEV can do the correct booking according to Odoo. And then you will have the two systems in sync. There are partner solutions regarding the DATEV export that are more powerful than that. But from a minimum set of export and to have the data that you need in DATEV, it's possible to use the solution. You can also do a bit of filtering here. You can select which month you want to export. You can also filter on journals. That's sometimes really relevant because maybe you only want to use to export creditors and debtors to your tax consultant. Your tax consultant, for example, will do the depreciation in DATEV, and so you might not want to have other journals in Odoo exported. On the contrary, maybe you want to import things back from DATEV into Odoo. That is not possible in standard, but also possible with partner solutions. So this is this was the demo about the DATEV export, and in the next step we will go to the VAT declaration. The VAT declaration will be a lot shorter than the DATEV export because the configuration we have done previously already. When I showed to you the settings, I showed to you the entries you need to make for the VAT declaration to work. Same thing, it's a bit hidden in reporting. You go to reporting, tax report, and then you go to XML. You click. Okay, and I say keep it. And you get a file called tax report XML. And then you can go to elster.de, upload this file, and do your monthly tax declaration. That's it. So, in German, kurz und schmerzlos. Okay, next thing, restaurant bills. So you go to your favorite restaurant, and Fabien showed a few things in the keynote yesterday about restaurants. So how do we book these restaurant bills? Sorry, I opened the wrong app. Accounting, yeah. I go to bills and create a new one. My favorite restaurant. You have a restaurant bill. So restaurant cost in German, Bewirtungskosten. Let's say the bill is 100 euros. I make it easy so you can check that the bookings are correct. And let's say you give a tip. German Trinkgeld, 10 euros. And here we go. So 100 euros for the bill. 70 euros, that's 70% are booked, and 30% are non-deductible. The same with the 10 euro tip. 7 euros are deductible, and 3 euros, the 30%, are non-deductible. And now you might be asking, but what did you do with the tax? There's a 19% tax, and the difficult thing is the 19% are applied not only on the 70 euros, but they're applied on the whole 100 euros. So the 19% tax you see here, 19 euros, because there's no tax on the tip. And in total, you end up with 77 euros, the 70 plus the 7. That's the 70%. The 30%, that makes the 33 euros, 30 plus 3. And then we have the 19% tax. And coming to the last point here, we have a quick demo on how you set this up in the configuration. You go to taxes and you go to Bewertungskosten, enter it as a 30% tax, and you have it booked on 6644. So coming to the end of my talk, I just make it short. Many things are available in the Odoo standard. There are a few things missing. As I explained, we're an app dealer, so if you need any extras in the German accounting, contact us for help with ready-made solutions. And now I'm ready to take your questions.
Thank you. As we only have 1 minute, either you reply in the pad itself on the questions, and I just maybe will read you one thing. They're asking, do you know that the German government is planning to remove some of the 150 mandatory reports, and do you consider this in your presentation?
Sorry, that the German government is removing...
Is planning to remove some of the 150 mandatory reports.
115. Maybe who raised the question come to me afterwards.
Yeah, but you can see them in the pad as well, and then just type maybe your answer in them so everyone also can see your reply. And thank you for your talk.
Okay. Thank you so much.